Hey guys, welcome to another market review session with us at EasyFX Academy. All right, if you're able to join us for our Thursday live session, all right, you should have been able to make some good profits off of that. Let me quickly check. Um, just give me a minute. I want to quickly confirm some of the currency pairs that we looked at. All right, Euro AUD. Let's quickly look at what we saw on Euro AUD, or we expecting on Euro AUD. Oh, wonderful. So, during the Thursday market review session or the Thursday live session, rather, we talked about the fact that we're expecting a pullback, or just a simple break and retest up type of thing. All right, the pullback into this zone. All right, and we got to see that pullback, and then we got to see that buy from there. All right, so kudos to those who were able to take in or take some profits off of this. I think we also talked about NZD card. NZD card played out exactly as we were expecting. I think this was something on the 30 minutes, on the 15 minutes time frame. All right, so this was the entry. And you can see this is what they call a sniper entry. All right, we had that play out very, very, very well. All right. We also talked about gold during the Thursday live session. I think we talked about gold, and then I think we talked about some other pairs. All right, so for gold, something similar. All right, I remember talking about just a simple pullback. All right, towards this zone right from here. We've got to see a break here. All right, we've got to see a pull back into that zone, and then we've got to see our sell continue from there. That happened quite well, quite well. All right, so kudos again to those who were able to take up, profits from this. And I think finally for just this part of the video, I'll talk about AED USD. Yes, exactly the exact same thing. All right, this is on the 5 minute time frame. Wanted to see price break below this. All right, come back to retest it on lower time frame, which was this candle here. All right, come back to retest it, and then we'll be able to take up our entry for the sales. All right, so if we're able to take in, if we're able to get on any of these trades, congratulations. Do also send your tithes. All right, so that yes, we'll benefit from your profits also. All right, that's just on a lighter note. Welcome to today's market review session. All right, so let's just quickly go into what we have for today. As usual, as you know, we usually look at currency indices together, and then we look at some currency pairs together. All right, so let me go back up to the 4 hour or daily time frame, and then we can look at what we have for DXY. Right, DXY is the US dollar currency index, and I think for this week we can still be expecting some. All right, so I have two scenarios here. Overall, I'm looking for a probable zone for us to get off the sales off on DXY. All right, so I have two scenarios I have marked out here. Either we get to see immediately market opposites, either we get to see that price or react from this initial zone and get our sell from there. All right, the coordinates for this zone is between 104.515 and 104.388. I'll come again 104.515 and 104.388. Or we get to see price break above this zone. All right, even possibly do a simple break and retest of this zone. Then we get to see price move towards the upside towards this range. All right, this is quite a large range. Let me just give us the coordinates. So between 104.806 and 105.210. All right, so I'm either watching out for either of these two scenarios. Overall, I'm looking for just a convenience place that price will be able to say, oh, now I've gotten home. Let me now go towards the downside. All right, so that's what I'll be expecting off of DXY in the coming days or in this week that we're about to enter. All right, so for BXY, something similar. We talked about the fact that I think during the last market review session we talked about the fact that we're expecting sales off of this zone. All right, BXY is the Great British Pound Currency Index, and I think we can just watch out for a simple retracement. All right, and then we get to continue our sell. Overall, I'm still bearish on BXY. All right, overall, I'm still bearish on BXY. I hope that is clear. AXY, all right, something similar. I think we're expecting some bearishness also above AXY, and we got to see that happen also during the course of the week. Currently I have this range. All right, now I'm using ranges because I'm just watching out for, as you can see, we have candles that are looking very, very crazy, and that's just how indexes usually are. All right, or rather indices usually are. So I'm just watching out for the most probable ranges that we can use for entries. All right, so to just have an idea of what we expect that index to do. All right, so this range is between 66.61 and 66.35. Again, 66.31 and 66.35. All right, so that'll be my range on AXY. So I'll be watching out for AXY to drop as far down rather as this range, and then we get to see possible push up towards the upside for a continuation for the buy. All right, so I hope that is clear for AXY rather. All right, so let's quickly look at CXY, the Canadian dollar currency index, and something basic is what I have here. on my chart right now. Um, Interesting, very interesting. All right, so I just saw something else. All the same, all right, what I'm expecting on CX rather is for us to have, strength, all right, in the course of the week. However, I want to see first off, I want to see some level of weakness first. So what that means is that I'm expecting a sell to buy movement to happen on CXY, all right, during the course of the week. All right, so scenario one is us to get, price maybe come as far down as this around 72.53, which has been a support that has lasted one, two, or two times or so, all right. So I'm sure if you're able to, or if you want to just mark out this whole zone, all right, this is also plausible. All right, just for convenience sake, let's put it as low as far as this previous low here. All right, so this is between 72.66 and 72.49. All right, so I'm watching out for the possibility of us having sales immediately that mainly market opens, or sorry, buys rather, immediately market opens off of CXY. Either that, or we get to see price come down. All right, which is this second scenario I have here. All right, let me just quickly explain it here. All right, that will mean that we'll get price come here. All right, sweep liquidity from this low. All right, then come up into the buy. Now, which low do you think I'm talking about? I'm talking about this one here. All right, so it's very likely that we can just get see price come as far down as that, and then we get to see our buy happen. All right, so this second zone that I'm watching out for here is between 72.41 and 72.21. All right, either way, I'm watching out for CXY to just give us a sort of sell to buy movement during the course of the week. All right, next up, and which should be the last index we'll be looking at, all right, for this market review session will be JPY basket. And I think for JPY basket, I'm watching out for JPY basket to continue bearish. All right, towards the downside, we see we have a lot of imbalances left behind, and we would probably be seeing price trying to reclaim, all right, that during the course of this week. All right, so we get to see we're going to see some level of rejection from this supply zone. In case you want to just correlate that with what you're seeing on your charts, this is between 5921 and 584, 5854 rather. All right, 5921 and 5854. All right, so I'm watching out for sales to continue for JPY basket possibly. Yes. So yeah, I just have this pullback here, all right, just in case we want to see price possibly come up as far as this zone here. All right, and then we get to see, I think this has already been touched though. Yes, it has actually. So possibly we just get to see something towards the down towards that end. All right, but overall I'm looking at JPY basket turning bearish during the course of this week. All right, so yes, that's what I'm watching out for on JPY basket. All right, so I hope that is clear. All right, for the indices. All right, so we usually do this to just have a sort of idea or sort of understanding of what exactly we expect each individual currency to do right before working based off of currency correlations and currency movements, all right, against each other. All right, so all that is clear. Quickly let's look at gold. All right, let's see what we have for gold during the course of this week. Now for gold, I think it's fairly safe. All right, fairly don't mind me. All right, I think it's fairly safe for us to say we are expecting gold to turn bullish, all right, in the course of this week. It might not be something serious rather. Sorry, it might not be something serious, all right, but I'm still watching out for possibility of buys, all right, from this zone, which is between 2413.83 and 2400.77. Again, 2413.83 and 2400.77. All right, so that way I'll be watching out for the possibility of us having buys off of gold, all right, in the course of this week. So definitely I'll see pricing still drop a lot into this area, then we get our buys from there. All right, so that's my current bias off of gold. All right, quickly let's look at I think USD CAD. Yes, USD CAD. All right, so for USD CAD we have a sell scenario that we're watching out for on USD CAD, current zone that we're watching out for, which price already is in. All right, it's between 1.37557 and 1.37373. 1.37557 and 1.37373. All right, so that's where we're watching out for sales to move from. All right, on USD CAD. All right, so I will be watching for those sales to last as far as somewhere around 1.36710. All right, which will rather just be this low. All right, so let's watch out for how that plays out during the course of the week. Next up, let's quickly look at GBP USD, one of everybody's favorites, I think, after gold. This is also one of everybody's favorite. All right. So for GBP I'm watching out for us to get a break. All right. Now, right now, I'm a bit skeptical on this. All right, because we've not gotten to see price give us a candle closing below this support. All right. This is around 1.29013. I'm not going to see a candle close below it. All right. But however, I want to watch out for the possibility of that candle being formed, when we get to market open. Give me a minute, please. Yes, all right. So when we get to market open, I want to see the possibility of that happening. All right. So just the possibility of us, if that happens, then I watch out for us to get buys off of GBP USD. So I have this large range, quite large actually. This is between 1.29013. All right, so 1.29013 and 1.28615. All right. So for the sake of entries, I think it could be safe, or it would be safe rather, if we focus on possibly using the 50% of this whole zone. All right, that'll be between, that'll be around 1.28816 or so. Right, so again, you can just correlate these values with what you're seeing on your chart. All right, so the 50% would be around 1.28808 or so. All right, so somewhere around there to be precise. So we'll just watch out for price coming towards a bit deeper into the zone, and I'll be primarily watching out for that candle to close just below this previous support here. All right, so yes, that'll be what I'll be watching. That will be what I'm watching out for on GBP USD. That will be what I will be watching out for. Don't mind me. All right, on GBP USD. Let's look at GBP JPY also. Yeah, all right. So for GBP JPY, I have something fairly interesting here. Let me go down to the lower time frame to show us. I have this large zone marked up above. This is around 205.691 and 205.166. All right, but that is seeming a bit far away currently. All right, so if possible, all right, I want to see price again breaking below this support. So this is around 202.947. All right, so if I get to see that happen, then for me, I might just take a simple break and retest trade, something towards this hand. Yes. All right, and this will just be that's 202.947 or so will just be my entry point when I get to see a break and retest, all right, of that previous support. All right, so that's what I'm watching out for on GBP JPY. And that would only work if we are seeing GBP JPY continue bearish. All right, if I get to see GBP JPY move towards the upside, then I'll be watching out for price to recover liquidity from this fair value gap, get into this zone I mentioned earlier between 205.691 and 205.166, and then we get our sell off to happen on GBP JPY. However, I still feel like the latter scenario is what I'm watching out for as something more plausible, all right, on GBP JPY. All right, so quickly, next up, let's look at GBP. Let's look at AED USD. Let's see what we are looking at on AED USD. All right, so for AED USD, I'm seeing a possibility for us to get some short buys, all right, on AED USD. All right, I have this fairly large zone again marked out. It is between 0.66742 and 0.66537. Again, 0.66742 and 0.66537. All right, so I want to watch out for the possibility of us to getting price to push as far down, as far in as that, and then we get to see our buy happen from there. All right, so I don't want to waste too much time on that. I believe that is very clear. We can see that price has done very well to gather liquidity from this fair value gap left behind here. We can see that there is now a reduction in the momentum that we are seeing, or that we were seeing previously in the market. All right, so let's watch out for the possibility of us getting buys from that point on AUD USD. All right, next up, let's look at Euro USD. I think this is another fan favorite. All right, so for Euro USD, let me go down to possibly the 2-hour time frame for us to see. Okay, I think this is not low enough. All right, so let's see what we're looking at on the 1-hour time frame. So I have this demand zone marked out here. Let me just give us the coordinates first. All right, this is between 1.08698 and 1.08598. I'll come again. 1.08698 and 1.08598. All right, so let's see what would happen when we get the price push towards that end. All right, I'm expecting price to sweep liquidity from this previous low around 1.08718, drop into our marked out demand zone, and then we get to see price move towards the upside. All right, so this zone is currently a pivot. All right, so, or a pivot, whatever pronunciation you would prefer. Right, if you use the line chart, you should be able to see that we've had a lot of reactions in that area. All right, so I'm watching out for the possibility of us using that as our demand zone and getting solid buys from there. All right. So again, the zone to watch out for on Euro USD that I am watching out for on Euro USD is between 1.08698 and 1.08598. Right. So I hope that is clear, for Euro USD. All right. So we still have quite a lot to look at today. All right. Let's quickly speed up just a little bit. Let's look at AUD NZD. All right, then we'll look at AUD CAD also. All right, so for AUD NZD, I think I might be bearish on AUD NZD. Reason being that currently we've seen that price already got into our initial supply zone. I think this was something we marked out previously from the daily time frame. Yes, very true. From the daily time frame, all right, I've seen that price has so far giving us a fair bit of rejection from there. So currently I just want to watch out for that to continue. I've been able to just sort of refine this zone. All right, so this is just on the 2-hour time frame. All right, this is not so large as we were seeing, all right, on the daily time frame. All right, this is between 1.11555 and 1.11233. I'll come again. This is between 1.11555 and 1.11233. All right, so currently we've seen that price has already come up into that place. All right, but for the sake of just accuracy, you might just want to take up your entries based off of the 50% mark of the zone. All right, which is around let's just say around 1.11391. All right, so but all the same, I think for me, I'll just be using this full zone. All right, so I want to watch out for price to move towards the downside from where we currently are at on AUD NZD. All right, and then doing in so doing, we get to see price break. All right, this previous low created here. This is around give me a minute, please. Let me just jot that up better. All right, so we get to see price break below this previous low. This is around 1.10549. All right, and then when we get to see that happen, we get to see price continue towards the downside to recover liquidity from the fair value gap level, and before coming maybe towards this this large bullish candle here. All right, so that will be starting from around 1.09902. All right, but that's still quite far away. All right, so overall, I'm still watching out for sales. All right, at least on AD and ZD during the course of the week. All right, so quickly let's look at AD CAD also. For AD CAD, we have this demand zone that we're looking at currently. This is around 0.91630 and 0.91419. 91419. Okay. Don't mind me. So I'm just watching out for buys or to happen off of AED CAD. You can see that price has broken below this previous support. All right, so swap liquidity from there, and then we're going to see price continue towards the downside. All right. So yes, I just want to watch out for that to happen off of AED CAD. However, I think I'll be very, very careful with this trade. All right. Reason being that we might still be able to see a push down towards the down. We might be able to see a push rather towards the downside, provided that we get to see this. Sorry, we might get to see a push up, a push towards the upside rather, if we don't get to see this candle close above, below this current support around 0.91746. All right, so let me just say that again in case you got confused. All right, because I almost confused myself also. All right, so I just want to watch out for the next candle to appear below this previous support here. All right, if that happens, then definitely I'm watching out for price to come towards our demand zone, and then we get to see our buy. All right, so that we'll not get a situation where we get left behind by the market and price just market just opens up, we just get to see price towards this end and just moves towards the upside. All right, so overall my bias on AD CAD would be bullish. All right, so I hope that is clear also. Let's quickly look at Euro NZD. Then after this, we'll just look at two more pairs, and then we'll call it a session. All right, so for let me go up to the daily time frame. For Euro NZD, I'm watching out for sales also. I have this range. I'm watching out between 1.81111 and 1.81594. Okay, 1.81111 and 1.81594. For me, this is a more risky trade, all right, or a riskier trade. Victoni sang a song of recent. I think that was during like the last 2 weeks or 3 weeks. I've been hearing it online. Risk, 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 risk. All right, this is one of those trades for me. All right, so I'm watching out for us to get possible sells off of this range on Euro NZD. We've seen that price is already there, already in that zone, and we've seen a fair bit of rejection, all right, already from that zone, right? But I just want to be very, very careful. So, by all means, if I'm going to be taking this, I'll possibly want to go down to the lower time frame and watch out for maybe a break and retest also. Um, something like that on the lower time frame, maybe on 15 minutes or the 30 minutes anyway. All right, so but overall, my bias for this week will be bearish, right, on Euro NZD. Of course, that will only hold if you don't get to see price break above our range. All right, so I hope that is okay for Euro NZD. Second to the last, not last but not least, second to the last, let's look at NZD card. Let me just go up to the daily time frame and show us what I have marked out here. All right, so for NZD card, again, I think I've been saying this, so you might just want to take up your entries from possibly the 50% of these zones. All right, because what the zones I've been marking out are more or less ranges, all right, not exact zones or exact candles or other blocks as you'd call them, right? It mean more or less ranges, all right. So for entries off of this, you could possibly be watching out for somewhere around 0.82260 or 0.82260, and your stop loss could possibly be just a little bit below here, this. All right, this would be 0.81994 right off of NZD card for the buys. All right, so not something too large anyway, not a buy that might last for too long. All right, so just a short retracement somewhere along this line. Sorry, give me a minute. Somewhere along this line. All right, so I hope this is clear. All right, so just a short retracement somewhere along this line, and then eventually I'll be watching out for this current zone to be broken. All right, and then we get the price possibly move as far down as this. All right, so this is my bias on NZD card. This is a sort of buy to sell scenario. However, I can't really assure that the sell will be something that we get to see even in the coming week. All right, but let's still watch out for the amount of volume on volatility that we get to see in the market during the course of this week or on this commodity specifically. All right, so I hope that is clear for NZD card. Last but not the least for the session, I wanted to say for the night. All right, so last but not least for the session will be ADCHF. As you can see on ADCHF, we have been bullish for quite some time, and I think I'll be watching out for that to also continue. However, again, this is one of those risk. All right, trades, all right, or trade scenarios I'm watching out for rather. All right, so our current demand zone that we're watching out for is between 0.59112 and 0.58863. I'll come again, 0.59112 and 0.58863 on ADCHF. I want to see price again sweep this low. All right, this is around 0.59206. All right, take up liquidity from the fair value gap that was left behind and then drop a bit lower. Again, you can just use the 50% of this range as your entry. All right, but this zone is between 0.59112 and 0.58863. So this is my watch out on ADCHF resell to buy. All right, on the ADCHF. All right, so I'm very, very sure you've been able to gain one or two. All right, please by all means do well to correlate this with your entry criteria. All right, based on how you trade. All right, and then be able to take up trades from some of these setups, or if not all of these setups. All right, so I'm very sure we're going to have a very, very profitable week ahead, guys. Do also like this video, share this video, and subscribe. All right, share this video. That's very, very important. You have friends that would need this sort of free resources that we provide here on this YouTube channel. All right, so I'll catch you guys in the next one. Have a very profitable week, guys. Bye.